This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
We were here approximately 2.5 years ago. I want to thank my host for Pinchas Brandis, who brought me here 2.5 years ago. But we're here again because Panam Chadash is Bokan. Because last year in February, unfortunately, the Kever was desecrated. So we're here a year later. This is really, it's been redone. And when we were here last, we said over the story. Rabbi Pinchas told me a story last time, I remember, that one of the outstanding qualities of the Manchester Rosh Yeshiva was his tzura. Everybody, even people who didn't know him, they look at the picture. I know somebody back in Queens. He says every Matzoi Shabbos after Havdalah, he has a picture of the Manchester Rosh Yeshiva smiling, and that's how he begins the week. There's something special about his tzura. So if I remember correctly, there was an individual who was at a flea market, and how do you say the flea market here in England? The car boot sale. And he bought a book. And this was a book about the Manchester Rosh Yeshiva. And he read the book, a Gentile, and he converted to Judaism. Just looking at the picture, he was taken in by the picture, and so moved from the story that it changed his life. So imagine somebody who just saw his picture on a book, it changed his life. Imagine those who actually knew him. Imagine those who learned from him. Now his father, Rabbi Yitzchak, was a Talmud Alter Nevardik, and I had a smicha from the Aruch HaShulchan. And Rabbi Yitzchak started yeshiva in Manchester, and when he was very ill, he passed away. So the Manchester Rosh Yeshiva, Rabbi Yehuda Zev, who at that point in time was the de facto Rosh Yeshiva, but had not been given the official appointment. There were some members on the board who felt he was such a tzaddik, he was so righteous. Rosh Yeshiva has other responsibilities as well. Rosh Yeshiva has to fundraise, has to make connections with people. And there was deliberations. When Rabbi Cheskel Abramsky came here to this country, he encouraged that they appoint the Manchester Rosh Yeshiva. But be it as it may, what happened was, he was actually offered a post by the Panovich Rav to be on the leadership of the Panovich Yeshiva. And he accepted it. And he was going to move to Bnei Brak. And the president of the board of the yeshiva became very ill. And he had a dream. And in the dream, he felt that the Manchester Rosh Yeshiva's father was upset that he did not do his part in implementing and making sure that Rabbi Yehuda Zev became the Rosh Yeshiva. And he got out of his bed and he convened a meeting and he said, no, we have to bring in the Manchester. Now, all this time, you should know, Rabbi Cheskel Abramsky suggested, you know what? Make the Manchester Rosh Yeshiva like temporary Rosh Yeshiva, because you could at any time bring in somebody bigger and he would happily step down. Because the entire time he did not want to get into any machlekes with anybody on the board. He had no hard feelings that so they didn't appoint him right away. But be it as may, the president of the board appointed him, and he recovered that week. And now the Manchester Rosh Yeshiva has a big dilemma. Should he go to Panovich? He had accepted the position, or should he stay in Manchester? He sent a letter to Reb Dessler to ask the Chazon Ish. Chazon Ish said that he should stay in Manchester. Manchester Rosh Yeshiva was a loving father to his Talmidim. Of course, every Rosh Yeshiva is a great Marbitz Torah. But what was unique was he would ask each Talmud their name, their Hebrew name and the name of their mother, to be able to pray for them. And of course, he's famous for instituting the Shmiras HaLashon calendar, which has spread over the whole world. When it started, I think he hand wrote the calendar, and then they printed it based on his writing. But he really spread the importance and the value of learning Sefer Chavetz Chaim, and that's why his brachos were so niskabel and so powerful. As somebody who's careful with their words carry tremendous weight. So we hope over here, in the zchus of davening in this Makom Kadosh, that all of our tefillah should be niskabel, barachamim v'ratzain.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.